It started with a whisper in the corridors of power, the kind that echoes louder than a scream in the dead of night. Picture this: Washington, D.C., the heart of American ambition, where cherry blossoms bloom in spring and scandals fester year-round. I was Alexandra Alex Rivera, 26, a rising star in political communications at a boutique PR firm on K Street. Fresh out of Georgetown with a degree in journalism, I'd hustled my way from intern coffee runs to handling crisis comms for congressional hopefuls. My life was a whirlwind of press releases, power lunches at the Palm, and late nights strategizing over Capitol Hill views. But then came Jordan Hayes, my colleague-turned-nemesis, a silver-tongued liar whose web of deceit nearly buried me alive. What followed wasn't just survival, it was a meticulously orchestrated comeback that didn't shatter his world. It pulverized it into dust, leaving him a cautionary tale in the annals of DC drama. Buckle up, because this isn't your average office intrigue. It's a thriller where the underdog bites back, and the bite is fatal. Let's rewind to the innocent days, back when DC felt like the land of opportunity rather than a snake pit. I grew up in a modest suburb of Atlanta, Georgia. Think sweet tea on porches, Friday night lights at high school football games, and a family that preached hard work over handouts. My parents, both teachers, instilled in me a fire for truth-telling. Dad would say, "Alex, words are weapons, wield them wisely." I escaped the South for the Northeast, landing a scholarship at Georgetown, where I majored in communications and minored in political science. Post-grad, I snagged a job at Elite Strategies, a firm known for turning political lemons into electoral lemonade. My boss, Marlene, saw potential in me. "You're authentic, Alex. In this town, that's rarer than an honest politician." Jordan joined the firm 6 months after me, a 28-year-old transfer from a rival agency in Chicago. He was the epitome of Midwestern charm meets East Coast polish, tall, with a disarming smile, always in tailored suits from Brooks Brothers. We were assigned to the same team, handling the re-election campaign for Senator Elena Vargas, a progressive firebrand from California with eyes on higher office. At first, Jordan was my ally. We'd brainstorm over happy hours at Old Ebbitt Grill, trading ideas on how to spin negative press into positives. "You're brilliant, Alex," he'd say, clinking his bourbon glass against my rose. I confided in him about my dreams, one day running my own firm, empowering women in politics. He shared stories of his humble beginnings, painting himself as a self-made man who'd overcome adversity. But subtle red flags waved like campaign banners in the wind. Jordan had a habit of borrowing my research without credit, presenting it in meetings as his own. I'd catch him glancing at my notes during strategy sessions, then parroting them verbatim. When I gently called him out, he'd laugh it off. "Great minds think alike, right?" Then there was the office gossip mill. Whispers about his past, rumors of a messy exit from his old job in Chicago, something about fabricated client testimonials. I dismissed it. DC thrives on hearsay. Little did I know, Jordan was a master manipulator, a liar who viewed colleagues as stepping stones. The betrayal ignited like a spark in dry tinder during the height of the 2024 election cycle. Senator Vargas was hit with a scandal, leaked emails suggesting improper campaign funding. It was bogus, planted by opponents, but the media frenzy was real. Marlene tasked our team with damage control. I pulled an all-nighter, crafting a killer press kit with verified sources, timelines, and counternarratives. Jordan was supposed to handle the social media rollout. Instead, at the morning briefing, he unveiled my work as his, even adding flourishes like, "My exhaustive research shows." Marlene praised him effusively. "Jordan, this is gold. You're promoted to lead on this." I sat there, stunned, my contributions erased. That was just the appetizer. The main course came weeks later, when anonymous tips flooded HR and the firm's partners. Accusations that I'd plagiarized college papers, leaked client info to rivals, and even had an inappropriate relationship with a junior staffer to climb the ladder. The lies were elaborate, backed by forged emails and doctored screenshots. My reputation, painstakingly built, crumbled like a house of cards in a hurricane. Colleagues avoided me in the hallways, invitations to networking events dried up. Marlene called me in. "Alex, we have to let you go. The optics are too damaging." I begged for a chance to prove my innocence, but the damage was done. Jobless in DC, where your network is your net worth, I was radioactive. Friends ghosted me, my LinkedIn profile gathered digital dust. Nights blurred into tear-soaked marathons of Ben and Jerry's and true crime podcasts, wondering how my life derailed so spectacularly. Suspicion pointed to Jordan. A sympathetic IT guy tipped me off. The anonymous emails traced back to a coffee shop IP near his apartment in DuPont Circle. But jealousy, pure and simple. He'd seen me as a threat, a younger, more innovative rival gunning for his spot. His lies weren't random, they were calculated to mirror his own skeletons. Digging into public records, late-night Google marathons, I uncovered his Chicago fiasco, fired for falsifying expense reports and spreading rumors about a female boss to cover his tracks. He was a serial liar, a chameleon who ruined reputations to elevate his own. Rage simmered, then boiled over into resolve. I wasn't going down without a fight. This young girl from Georgia would channel her southern grit into a comeback that would make Scarlett O'Hara proud. Phase 1. Rebuild from the ashes. I moved to a cheaper walk-up in Arlington, Virginia, across the Potomac, and freelanced for small nonprofits, ghostwriting op-eds on women's issues. I started a blog, Truth Unveiled, anonymous at first, sharing stories of workplace betrayal. It gained traction on platforms like Medium and Substack, attracting thousands of subscribers who shared their own tales. Empowerment became my armor. But revenge demanded more than words. I needed evidence, irrefutable proof of Jordan's deceit. Enter Phase 2, the investigation. I enlisted help from an old Georgetown classmate, now a private investigator in Baltimore. For a fee I scraped together from savings, he tailed Jordan, hacking ethically into public databases, no illegal stuff, think FOIA requests and social media deep dives. We uncovered gold. Jordan's pattern of lies extended beyond work. He'd fabricated his resume, claiming a Harvard MBA when it was really an online certificate from a no-name school. Testimonials from clients were sock puppet accounts he controlled. And the kicker? Audio recordings from his old firm, obtained via a whistleblower, where he bragged about taking out the competition with rumors. The suspense mounted like a spy novel's plot twist. I waited for the perfect storm. In early 2025, Jordan was promoted to partner at Elite Strategies, landing a high-profile gig managing comms for a presidential hopeful. His star was rising, mine would eclipse it. I anonymously tipped off investigative journalists at The Washington Post and Politico, bundling evidence in encrypted files. But I didn't stop there. Using my growing blog audience, I teased a major exposé on workplace toxicity in DC, building hype like a blockbuster trailer. The climax hit during the firm's annual gala at the Kennedy Center, overlooking the glittering Potomac. DC's elite mingled under chandeliers, toasting to power plays. Jordan, in a tux from Men's Warehouse, schmoozed with senators and donors. That's when my plan detonated. The Post dropped the story online mid-event, PR Pro's House of Lies, fabrications, firings, and fraud at Elite Strategies. It detailed everything. His forged credentials, the Chicago scandal, and irrefutable links to the smears against me. Simultaneously, my blog went live with a personal essay, The Liar Who Tried to Break Me, and How I Broke Him Instead. It went viral, shared by influencers like Glennon Doyle and amplified on X, formerly Twitter, with hashtag DCLiarExposed. Pandemonium ensued. Phones buzzed, faces paled. Jordan's promotion evaporated. The firm fired him on the spot amid client pullouts. His presidential gig? Cancelled. Lawsuits followed, defamation suits from past victims, including me, who sued for wrongful termination and won a six-figure settlement. But the real shatter came personally. His fiancée, whom he'd met at the firm, left him after discovering he'd lied about his finances. Creditors came calling. His DuPont Circle condo went into foreclosure. Last sightings? Jordan slinging burgers at a fast food joint in the suburbs, his charm reduced to, "Would you like fries with that?" The twist that floored even me? During the investigation, I learned Jordan wasn't just a colleague, he was a distant cousin, connected through a family tree on Ancestry.com. Our great-grandfathers were brothers, making his betrayal a blood betrayal. He'd known, using it to get close, then strike. Now, at 27, I run my own firm, Rivera Communications, specializing in ethical PR for underrepresented voices. From my office in Alexandria, with views of the Washington Monument, I mentor young women, teaching them to spot liars and strike back with truth. My reputation? Stronger than ever, a phoenix risen. Jordan's world? Shattered beyond repair, a reminder that in America's capital of comebacks, lies may wound, but truth annihilates. If you're facing your own liar, remember, your epic comeback starts with one unyielding step toward justice. The end of his story was the beginning of mine, unbreakable, unstoppable.